She didn't scream. She didn't cry. She just said 4 words and left me to die. But years later, I gave her something she never expected. 1 letter. No money. No second chance. Just silence. And that silence destroyed her. If you've ever dreamed of watching karma serve cold, silent justice, this story is for you. Hit that like button, subscribe, and buckle up, because today you're about to hear how one man turned heartbreak, cancer, and abandonment into the most beautiful, poetic revenge you've ever heard. I never thought betrayal could be quiet. Turns out, it's the quiet that hurts the most. When Mara left me, she didn't scream or throw a plate or even slam the door. She just wheeled her suitcase to the elevator in our apartment building, lips trembling but eyes dry, and said, "I can't do this, Ethan." "This?" I had whispered, leaning against the doorframe of our condo, the chemotherapy fog still clinging to my thoughts. "You mean me?" She flinched, but didn't answer. I didn't follow her. My body was too weak, my heart weaker. The elevator doors closed with a soft ding, and that was it. I'd been diagnosed with stage 3 cancer 2 weeks before. She'd been by my side through the first appointments, the first long night of whispered fears. She'd held my hand and told me we would fight together. That was the first lie, I suppose. The days after she left were some of the longest of my life. I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, thinking of all the ways I must have failed her. But somewhere deep down, another voice whispered a different truth. Some people only love the sunshine, never the storm. Chemo stripped away my strength, my hair, my sense of self. But it also stripped away illusions. Mara had been my world for 7 years, and in a single choice, she showed me I had never been hers. I don't remember much of that first month alone, except the smell of hospital antiseptic and the cold taste of water at 3 a.m. I survived out of spite, maybe. Some ember in me refused to die, even when my body begged for release. Years passed. Against all odds, the treatment worked. Slowly, my body recovered. Slowly, I learned to live without her. I joined a cancer support group, started painting again, and spent long walks by the harbor, breathing in air that didn't taste like regret. It wasn't until I was whole again that I realized how silent revenge could be. I didn't need to scream at Mara. I didn't need to curse her name or post angry messages online. My life, full and beautiful without her, would speak louder than any outburst. And so, I began to live. I met Lena at the support group. She was there for her father, who had just been diagnosed, and she brought with her the kind of warmth that seeps into your bones. We became friends first, just quiet walks, shared coffee, laughter that felt unforced. Love came slowly, like the tide rolling in. By the time we married, I was a different man. We married on a beach at sunset, barefoot, no guests but my daughter Grace and a local officiant. There were no flowers, no tuxedos, just the sound of gulls and the scent of saltwater. Lena wore a simple white dress that fluttered in the breeze. I wore a linen shirt and a heart finally at peace. Life was simple, and for the first time, it was mine. Mornings began with coffee on the porch overlooking the sea. Afternoons were for painting and carving little wooden boats for the local school kids. Evenings, we'd cook together, laughing in a kitchen that always smelled faintly of rosemary and garlic. Sometimes, in the quiet, not with hate. Hate is too heavy to carry for long, but with the detached curiosity one feels for a ghost. 10 years passed before the cancer returned. A sharp pain in my ribs one November morning sent me back to the hospital. The scans told the truth. It was in my bones this time. The doctor's voice was gentle but firm. "We can manage your comfort," he said, "but we can't promise a cure." I nodded. I wasn't afraid. Not anymore. Lena and Grace wept, but I held their hands and told them the truth. I'd been given a second life already, and I had lived it well. In those last months, the world slowed down in the most beautiful way. Lena and I walked the shore even when I had to lean on her arm. Grace visited with photo albums and laughter that warmed every corner of our little house. I painted until my hands trembled too much to hold a brush. One of my last paintings was a small wooden boat adrift on calm water, a single oar resting inside. I titled it "Waiting for No One." When it came time to write my will, I sat with the town lawyer, Mr. Harlan, and made my decisions without hesitation. Everything, my savings, my art, the house, even the little boats I carved, would go to Grace, to Lena, and to the cancer charity that had saved me. For Mara, I left nothing but a single sealed envelope. When I died one April morning, the sea was calm. Lena slept in the chair beside my bed, her fingers curled lightly around mine. My last breath slipped from me like a tide returning to the ocean. The funeral was small, but full of love. Grace read a eulogy that made people laugh through their tears. Lena placed a sprig of rosemary on my coffin. Neighbors, friends, and members of the support group filled the church with warmth. And then, as I knew she would, Mara appeared. She was still striking, but in a brittle way, her beauty lacquered over with desperation. Her black designer dress couldn't hide the tremor in her hands. After the service, she lingered for the will reading. Mr. Harlan read it calmly. Everything to Grace, to Lena, to charity. Mara's face twitched. "There must be a mistake," she whispered. "There is no mistake," he said, "but there is a letter for you." She opened the envelope with trembling fingers. My handwriting, one sentence long. "You left me on the night I needed you most. I leave you only the memory of that choice." She left the room without a word. No one followed. Regret is a slow poison. Mara's life began to unravel in silence. Her city condo felt empty, the skyline hollow. Old friends drifted away. Money slipped through her fingers like sand. Lovers came and went, all of them younger, all of them leaving when the shine dulled. She found me online one night. My obituary, my paintings, my name on the cancer support wing in town. The photo of my little boat on calm water, waiting for no one. She wept into her pillow, realizing she had become exactly that, a woman waiting for someone who would never come. Years passed. Her world shrank to a one-bedroom apartment and a shelf of old photographs she couldn't bear to throw away. She dreamed of me often, but in her dreams, I wasn't begging anymore. I was only watching her walk away. And sometimes, I said the words softly, the way I'd written them. "You chose this." The final winter of her life was bitterly cold. Alone and frail, she sat by a window with a photo of me in her lap, watching snowflakes spin against a gray sky. Her last thought before sleep took her was of the sea, the sun on my face, and the life she had abandoned. When neighbors found her days later, the apartment was silent. The only sound was the wind rattling against the glass and the echo of a choice that had followed her to the very end. And somewhere, on a quiet stretch of coast, the sea rolled on. My name lived in the laughter of children, in the art that graced small town walls, in the lives I'd touched with quiet kindness. I was gone, but I had won. And Mara, left with nothing but memory, finally understood what true silent revenge feels like. If this story hit you in the heart, don't forget to like the video and comment below. Have you ever seen someone get exactly what they deserved? In silence? And if you want more true stories of poetic revenge, heartbreak, and justice served cold, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell. Until next time, remember, sometimes the best revenge is simply living well without them.